Hello the internet, this is Scales here. I'm on the corner of 33rd in Ontario in Vancouver. Where to start? This is going to be an interesting story. I've been debating how I was going to cover the Olympic for 2010 and deciding what sort of reporting I would be doing and stories I would be covering. And I guess over the last few months I've been exposed to several other things thanks to Irwin and Downtown East Side Poverty Association and Fearless City and a bunch of other things. And I guess as I'm driving to work every morning, I'm kind of curious. I pass by this piece of property here, which let's just go tour, okay? This is right in the middle of downtown, or, well, no, this is right in the middle of like Vancouver, and you can tell, like, look at this piece of property here, okay? Has like, this line is your land, homeless, this is all empty. Look at that. There's silhouette painting in the windows. Look at that. There's even a light on. Let's put, look at that. 4980 Ontario Street. There's a light on. There's nobody inside. There's nobody inside. Let's keep on going. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. There's lights on. 5010 Ontario Street. There's nobody living here, but there's a light on. We talk about energy saving, we talk about homelessness, we talk about all sorts of things, welcoming the world to this great nation. We talk about human rights, we talk about so many different things. But look at this, in case you don't hear it in my voice, the frustration. Look, there's lights on. There's nobody living here, but there's lights on. Yet downtown, there's people staying in the street, dying at night, cold. Pardon? This is personal video that I will post on the internet. I'm frustrated of passing by this every morning and seeing lights on when there's nobody. It's boarded.
No, it's just I'm one of the organizers who has been working on this for the last couple of years.
Do you know what they're going to be doing?
Yeah, government is in the process of selling it.
Yeah.
To Holborn developments. They have displaced the whole community, totally unnecessarily.
Yeah. So it will never be community housing. It will not be used for.
This is the big scandal. We need affordable housing, right? And there won't be any additional affordable housing here. What they say is they'll replace the number of social housing units here.
Yeah.
224, but that will be a little island of social housing, a little of luxury condos.
Do we have a time frame of when this is going to be destroyed?
There's no time frame. There's no plan. The sale hasn't been concluded. It is doubtful that anything will be built here for years to come.
If I'm correct, this used to be military barracks, right? There was housing.
Yeah, a long time ago,
in the
50s. And then actually, it became social housing after it was squatted here.
Yeah.
And it was federal land. The land was sold to the province about a couple of years ago, and the province decided to privatize it and sell it. Totally wrong. Everything about it is wrong. It's wrong to privatize this land because we need public land to build public housing. It's the only way you can build affordable housing by hanging on to public land. Right?
I agree.
So, and this is, there's thousands of families in need of housing. At the same time, we're losing all our affordable housing. Our rental stock is disappearing all over the place. Just right now at Fraser and 29th, there's 219, I think, something like that. Anyways, over 200 families that are losing their housing. That's all in our neighborhood. That is private. It'll never be replaced. It'll never be affordable again. Here, we could house within weeks about 224 families. So we lost.
Say that again. Say that again.
224 families could be housed here within weeks. The houses need some repair.
Sorry, in case you haven't figured out, there's lights on. There's electricity. Sorry, that's the part that frustrates me.
It would cost about $2 million to fix these homes and clean them up and put in proper windows again and that.
That's not even 1% of the overall budget for the Olympic for 2010.
And it's not even 1% of the money that the feds just released for the repair of all social housing. It's unconscionable to do it. And they're planning to tear these homes down in the middle of a housing crisis.
Okay. Do you want to have your name on this?
It
Like,
doesn't
just
matter.
comment?
No.
Thank you very much for your
Okay.
comments. Like, I saw you pass by and I was curious
Yeah, you know,
to...
we actually had a march around here on Saturday. There were about, well, you know, we didn't plan it to be big. It was about 50 people
Yeah.
here calling for the immediate reopening of these homes. And we've been working on this for the last 2 years since they announced this. Before the whole community was displaced. There's still about 14 families that live here. But this, you know, this all needs to be reopened. Especially now, especially since, you know, at the time when they sold it, we didn't have this slump, right?
Yeah.
But now it's just crystal clear that there won't be any building because no developer will sell anything. Besides, I mean, it should never become private.
And what are you going to do about that Mayor Appy Planet and Premier Martini? I would like to know. I'm Robert Scales, and so long the internet. This is a poverty issue that is related to Vancouver, and I'm calling the whole city council and the province on this.